property first, mortgage second, but will the property wait for you? This is so speaking from experience here, this is what I think you too, but I experience this a lot, where working with professional people, everything will work out. If everybody knows what his job is and everybody does their job, everything works out perfectly, right? But let me just tell you about something that we worked on like 2 weeks ago or something like this, where a couple in Berlin, they brought a property from a private seller in Berlin, right? And then they were like, hey, this guy is not charging us any reservation fee, but only in the first 10 days. So they wanted to reserve it, and they were asking me, can we get financing done in 10 days? And I said, if we have everything, yes. Because most of the time it's because documents are missing and you have to ask for it, and they don't have tax declarations, and because they don't have the list of documents that a bank requires. If the bank has all the documents, it just takes a couple of days and they're done with it. So we can actually do this super fast. So I told them, if we have all the documents, we can easily get it done in 10 days. This is 2 or 3 weeks ago and we still have nothing, right? Because what happened, I sent them the list of what we would need, and then the seller is like, what does this mean, Teilungserklärung and all of this, and
What?
completely unprofessional seller. And then of course you can't get it done, and then, or if the seller is unprofessional, you are unprofessional because you don't have documents or something, then the property is not gonna wait, of course, right? But if everybody knows their job, if the seller is professional, has all the documents, if you are professional and you have all the documents, which, to be completely honest, from your perspective, you can only focus on what you can control, right?
It's true.
But from your perspective, there's 10 documents or something that you need. There's zero excuse, according to my personal opinion, if you found a perfect property and want to finance this. There's zero excuse why there's one document missing from your point of view when you apply for the mortgage. When I was looking for a property, I just prepared these 10 documents, and at the moment that I found the property, I sent the zip file to the bank.
Yeah.
I think there's zero excuse to have not all documents that you want. And then it's just about having a professional person that helps you finance, that knows how to talk to a bank, and having a professional seller. And then everything will work out perfectly. And it will work with the property.
True. And to be honest, if you already start like that, your clients, right? If you say the seller didn't have any documents, you're still waiting for that. This is what you don't have with us. It's kind of everything already talked to the bank, already appraised. And what I was going to say, Misha, property first, mortgage second, it's very important to, well, we talked that at the beginning of the stream, to get your financial overviewed, okay? Not get the mortgage first, but I'm telling for how much would you be even eligible. So you might find a property in Berlin for 350K and you are eligible for 300K. So check that first, and obviously property should be found first.
Maybe we can help people with this, right? For how much are you eligible for? Because let's say we have 100,000 property, right? Yeah. 100,000 property. Then what did we say? 4% interest, 2% principal, right? So that's 6%. So this would be 6,000 euros a year that you would have to pay to the bank, or 500 euros a month.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of see, because banks have certain scenarios, right? What happens if rent goes away for some reason? If you don't have a tenant, stress scenarios and whatever. Could you pay this, right? So the bank kind of looks at, is this a person that could pay 500 euro for a month or 2 or 3 or something if shit hits the fan? Yes. Okay, then on this liquidity or stress point of view, you would be eligible for 100K. What else do you need for 100K? Closing costs that you mentioned before.
On top of it, yeah.
So maybe, let's say roughly 10%. So is this a person that has 10K in their bank account? Yes. Okay, then you're eligible for 100K. And then kind of you can move on, right? Do you have 20K in the bank account? Then maybe you can afford a 200K property. If the stress scenario with 1,000 euros, in case you don't have a tenant for a month or two, works out as well. And this is kind of how a bank looks at this too. And there's no hard fact that you can say a person with 2.5K monthly net income can afford this much.
Yeah.
It always depends. There's always a range, but this is kind of how banks look at it in order to help you out.